Chip Kelly's out. He was the highest paid coordinator on either side of the ball, $6 million a year on a 3-year deal.
It's never worked in the NFL. And did anybody watch Ohio State last year? Ohio State had an NFL football team. They had a hard time moving the ball in a lot of games.
You can have a great career in college, and that worked. But you go ahead and try to change guys that have been doing stuff their entire life. Because remember the first thing he did, Ashton Jeanty, he wanted to put Ashton Jeanty to put his hands on his thighs. The man been standing up the whole while.
Believe it or not, the 2-9 Las Vegas Raiders have gotten better today. They are a better team, better organization, and an overall better offense after the long expected firing of offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. I was expecting to also hear and see a few other heads roll. Pete Carroll, 74-year-old Pete Carroll, is still the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders as we speak. But yes, the Las Vegas Raiders part ways with Chip Kelly after Week 12, and Chip Kelly was making $6 million a year. Not just one of the highest offensive coordinators in the league, but the overall highest paid coordinator, period, far none. And that's pretty much what you need to know about how horrible NFL GMs get things wrong. Bringing on coaches into your coaching staff with this much money backing them, and it all fail. It all look horrible. The Raiders' offense in 2025 has been historically terrible, awful, averaging only 15 points per game, tied for worst in the entire league. And they have scored 10 points or fewer in 5 of the 11 games that Chip Kelly has called. And most of that scoring, most of the other 6 games came in garbage time. So you're having an offense out there that's not even confident in how you're coaching them. Every single snap out there with that offense, even with having Brock Bowers, an elite tight end we already know and love about him, and having Ashton Jeanty, who I don't care what the Twitter scouts are saying, I know Ashton Jeanty is a guy. Raiders fans in the comments, is Ashton Jeanty still a guy? I need to know if you guys have turned your back on him. I know when this kid gets an offensive line and an offensive coordinator that knows how to get him in the right and best spots, he's going to take off very, very Jonathan Taylor-esque type of seasons. And to go along with it, this is an unfortunate trend that the Las Vegas Raiders are now having. This is the 3rd year in a row where the Las Vegas Raiders have fired their offensive coordinator. So the GM's getting things wrong. The ownership is too involved. Tom Brady needs to take a better, stronger approach. Greg Olsen is the new offensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. And no, not the tight end, not the broadcaster. I wish it was. I thought it was. Greg Olsen, he does have a history with the Raiders. He was the offensive coordinator in 2013 and then a little bit later in 2018 to 21. So there is some history with play calling there. But I need to know from the comments, everybody with Las Vegas, are there more firings to had with your 74-year-old head coach and Pete Carroll? And how do you get this wrong? You have such a good rookie year for Brock Bowers doing great things, amazing things. And then this next year, you bring in a veteran quarterback with Geno Smith. You bring in Ashton Jeanty. You have Chip Kelly, a $6 million offensive coordinator. And then you bring in Pete Carroll, former head coach that wins the Super Bowl. You write everything down beautifully. And then you also have Max Crosby, Mad Max on that defense. I think the issue, in Raiders fans, I want to know if you agree or disagree, the whole Christian Wilkins departure, it frustrated me. It frustrated me because the defense was about to take another leap, a crazy big jump. And now I don't know necessarily if anyone knows. I don't. If anyone knows what happened with the whole Christian Wilkins fiasco, please let me know in the comment section. But I believe things kind of started there. And this running game not being able to get kicked off with having Ashton Jeanty, a guy that was at the Heisman ceremony, and then you bring in Chip Kelly, who was quote-unquote supposed to be a run game scheme type of mastermind and did not do anything beautiful with his 11 games given. The Raiders suffered a disgusting 24-10 loss, and this is to a Browns team that was 2-8, and this was to a Shedeur Sanders that was getting his first start. This defense looked embarrassing at too many times. And of course, I want to mention to anybody that doesn't know the Raiders, Jeremy Chin was injured very early on the first drive. And that is pretty much, if you don't have Max Crosby on the field, you want Jeremy Chin on the field, and he does amazing things. And so they lost that gift very early in the game. It just seems that so many things with the Raiders this year is just off, you know? I just want to say real quick, I'm a Bengals fan, so I know Daniel Carlson is a kicker that I have seen my entire life of playing the Raiders as he's been on the team. He has been deadly. He has been a crucial kicker. I used to tell people, you know, everyone would talk about Justin Tucker. I'm like, no, Daniel Carlson is that guy. Him missing that field goal in the second quarter killed the momentum. And he's been missing some kicks. I know he has a younger brother that had that same issue. He has been missing some kicks this year, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on with this guy in his head? And on offense, Geno Smith missed a wide open Trey Tucker super early, and that's always been Geno Smith's issue. He either, he'll have these games where he's on point, the completion percentage is pretty high, and then he just whiffs just horribly, very inaccurate with a lot of his balls, and it's just frustrating. It's bad. And he was sacked for the 4th time, leading to another punt on that same drive. The one thing that an offense needs to have, if it's going to have any type of success, you have to convert on third downs. You have to have success on third downs. And the Raiders' third down success was abysmal. It was disgusting. They went 1 of 9 in the first half against a really good, strong Cleveland Browns team. I get you. I got you. But if you're going to win in this league, you got to convert on third. I will say that Geno Smith eventually found Ashton Jeanty on 4th down for a short touchdown, but on the following drive was sacked for the 10th time and fumbled, and then the Browns recovered. And I just want to know, where are we at within the Raiders organization, the Raiders fan base? Please let me know in the comments. How much of this is on Geno Smith? I'm not seeing too much of Kenny Pickett starting. I'm not seeing any rumors of Kenny Pickett starting, but I am seeing some news outlets bringing up Aiden O'Connell, being cleared from. And I remember Aiden O'Connell, right? Things were iffy, things were bad. I remember the Gardner Minshew days. Things were iffy, things were inconsistent. Still had great games here and there, but give me Aiden O'Connell if it's going to bring more life. I mean, you guys let me know if that's right or wrong. I know, though, that this offensive line for the Las Vegas Raiders needs work. So much work. Terrible work. And Raiders fans, I also want to know, what is it right now? Are you looking for life for the rest of the season? Or is anything and everything right now, okay, let's lose it out to get the highest pick possible in the draft? Because the Raiders allowed 10 sacks. Their worst since 1998. This team is going backwards, right? Myles Garrett had a crazy game with 3 sacks. The loss confirms what many have feared within the Las Vegas organization, is that the season's a wash. This is it. And this is under Pete Carroll with all that beautiful stuff within the preseason. 13 penalties for 109 yards. Discipline continues to be the unfortunate issue for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I love Pete. He's 74. I love the guy. But all that hee-hee-ha-ha tackling, all the players, all that fun tackling stuff, that has to be the issue. That has to be a problem. And with the result of the Las Vegas Raiders now being 2-9, that they're projected to be the 5th overall pick in the draft. So things are trending towards a rebuild, but you're rebuilding with Max Crosby. You're rebuilding with Ashton Jeanty. You're rebuilding with Brock Bowers. You're rebuilding with young guys that are already dudes in my eyes. And Geno Smith is your starting quarterback. Why do you have Pete Carroll if he's 74 and you're rebuilding? You guys got to make sense of it for me. I can't. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe.